record in this company. Okay, Spring Boot basically it uses three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture. What is this three-tier architecture basically? It has a controller, maybe postman. Postman, you're sending the request through localhost 8080, some request, it's going to the controller. Okay. After that, it is going to the service layer. Service layer. After that, it has a data access layer.
Your voice is not clear.
Not clear. Now it's okay. Now are you able to hear me?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Now this is the repository. Repository layer. Repository layer, we have an entity class. That I told you, entity class, it's interacting with the database. That combination of these two interacting with the database and get the data and giving to the service to controller to view. This is the architecture Spring Boot they are using. Okay. First, what we need to write? We need to write a controller. After that, we need to write a service. After that, repository. Under repository, we have to use mapped entity to database. That means, for example, we have a employee database and we need to write an employee model. Like that, we need to map repository to database and connect the DB and get the data from the database using repository service to controller. Repository to service. Now what we have to do, we need to learn theory part. After that, we will go ahead with the practice. What is the theory? Spring Boot theory. What and all actually the features they have added there. Okay, that and all we gonna teach now. Now, first feature they have added in, for example, in features. First feature, for example, is Spring, right? Spring, what we are doing? We are developing application and deploy the application into Tomcat, or sometimes we have to deploy it in the Tomcat. But in the Spring Boot, they have added embedded Tomcat inbuilt. Embedded Tomcat inbuilt. Embedded Tomcat inbuilt. Not only embedded server, this is nothing but a server, you can say. Server, whenever we are actually planning to, planning to run the application, we need to use server. In that server, we have to install and we have to deploy your application. But now in Spring Boot, they have added inbuilt Tomcat server. You don't need to deploy, automatically it will deploy into the server. And Tomcat, in order to install, automatically they are actually giving. One more server also they are giving, Jetty server. Jetty, if you don't want embedded, we can use Jetty. Jetty also you don't want, for example, WebLogic server you want. Then we can also add that in your current application. That is the one feature they have added. Second feature they have added, minimize the annotations. I have thought almost 50 to 80 annotations yesterday's or before yesterday's class. But Spring Boot, they have added only one annotation name called @Spring Boot application. They have added only one annotation, that is what? @Spring Boot application. Under that, we have three annotations: enable, auto configuration, component stand. This already I taught you in last session. Third feature they have added, all jars clubbed together, all required jars clubbed together, and they named as starters. The starters contains more than one jar, that required jars. This is a one more feature they have added. Second thing, third feature then. Fourth feature they have added, inbuilt four types of databases. Types of in-memory database. Memory databases. What and all that? That is Hikari DB, Tomcat, JDBC, DBCP, DBCP2, DBCP, DBCP2. These are the in-memory database they have added. You don't need to worry about anything. It's they have added inbuilt. Okay, you don't need to worry about in-memory database you need to add and all, but you don't need to worry. You have to add a dependency. It will give you guys. Okay, that is the fourth feature. Fifth feature, they have added conditional annotation. Conditional annotations. And the conditional annotations are conditional on being, conditional on class, conditional on property. These are the annotations they have provided, conditional annotations. Next, they have added sixth feature, Spring profiling. What is this profiling basically? Basically, this profiling is nothing but, for example, local profile, QA profile, UAT profile, and production. These are four types or five types of environment is there. Each environment have its own properties, its own DB credential, its own DB URLs. That time, instead of using only one DB properties, they are using profiling concept. They are like maintaining. And seventh feature is what is it called? Creating a app. How to create a app? You can use CLI, command line user interface, and Spring.io. What is Spring.io? See, this is the starter Spring.io. If you want to create your own Spring Boot application, you can use Groovy or Kotlin Maven. Maven is the build tool and language is Java. Your Spring Boot version 3.3.1.3 and your package name may be com.org.ibc, group name com.yogi, and demo employee, maybe employee name, employee description. This is the package. You want Java or where? And what is the Java version? 17, 21, 22 is a 24 is the current version, but they are supporting 22. If you want to change, you can change it. Now dependencies. This is an added dependency. We can add dependency. For example, if I want to work with the Spring Starter Web, REST services and all, we can use WebJar and Lambbook if you want. I already taught you Lambbook annotations and LambJar you can add. And you're connecting MySQL driver, you can use MySQL driver. These three jars we can add and automatically you can click on. I'll teach you slowly, don't worry. Just I'm telling you how they are using Spring Initializer. Okay. Now click on generate. See, now it's generating. Yeah. See, you are not doing anything. It's automatically they are generating. You can extract all. Extract. Now I want to open this. Just open bomblet.xml file, right click, open with IntelliJ. Okay, see, did you do anything? No, it's automatically downloading from the jars. Okay, from the Maven. See, Maven is downloading. If you go into the SRC, your package is com.org.yogi. This is a main class. It's downloading. It's resolving all. See, whenever you're writing a main class, it's automatically coming from the Spring Boot application jar. You don't need to do anything. Next, if you go into the arm.xml file, here it will tell you what is your Spring Boot version and what is your employee, what is your group ID, that is a package name, what is your application name, and what is your version name. For example, this version is 0.0.1 is snapshot is the current version. I want to change this version to, you can change it here. Okay, two, how to create a jar and Marvin and all I'll teach you. Don't worry, one by one. Now we go to the life cycle. If you install, now it will create for you automatically a jar in the target folder. This is a what actually basic application. You can create your own also. This is a what actually they have added one more feature name called create a app. App how to create? We can use CLI command line user interface. Command line interface or Spring IO. Most of the people they're using Spring IO. Just now I already thought. Okay. Now The eighth feature is actuators. Actuators. These actuators, they are giving some kind of some starter. That starter contains some URLs like a health check, Prometheus, Grafana, Grafana. These types of URLs they are giving. Health check your app is healthy or not. It will check. Prometheus metadata will give. Grafana UI will give. That I'll show you how they are giving and all. These features I'm telling one by one. I'll explain you each and every in detail. Now ninth features. They have added a parent form. Parent form. It contains all jar versions. So what is that? For example, just now we have a app, right? What is the app name? See, you have a form.xml file. You have a parent form. Parent form. See, this is a parent. Clicking on this, okay? Okay, it's downloading the charts. Once completed downloading, clicking on this is a parent. This parent form contains all the versions, all the versions, all the versions. And that means, like, Spring Boot versions and all will be there in the remaining all versions will be there in the that one. Okay. Now, okay. Now that is the ninth advantages. Next advantage is 10th. 10th is logging. Logging. Previously, if you want to logging your log actual logger info, error, debug, debug. These are the three types of logs is there. Info means information. Error means error. When you're debugging, we are debugging, right? That time you want to print some kind of logs, we can use debug. This is the 11th feature they have added it. Again, 10th. 11th is security. Security, they have added Spring Boot Starter Security Starter. We can implement on top of the Spring Boot, Spring Boot Security. They have added. Okay, they have added. 12th feature is they have supported multiple properties file. That means they can say YAML file, dot properties file, or whatever the files they will support. Okay, you don't need to worry about any thing. This is the YML support and log aggregation, parent form jars. I think so. These are the 12 features they have added in the Spring Boot. Now we will start one by one how to yeah, how to we can start like one by one. What is a Spring and all the things. Okay. Now we are almost talking about 11 or 12 features. Maybe we will add it one by one. Let's start Spring Boot. Hmm. Let's start Spring Boot. Basically, what they'll ask always, what is a Spring Boot? What is that? Yeah. Okay. What is a Spring Boot? Spring Boot is nothing but a combination of maybe otherwise. Spring Boot is a framework. Okay. Spring Boot is a framework that is a open source. Open source means open the source code and whatever you want, you can write it on your own. That means on your business based on your business requirement. That is a open source. Okay, open the source code, whatever you want, you can do. But Spring Boot on top of Spring framework, there this is a Spring on top of Spring Boot is there. That means whatever the Spring have features, all features it contains, and some of the more features they have added it. Now, what is the features? Spring Boot is a project that built on what? What basis? Top of the Spring framework only. Built on top of the Spring framework. That is the first point in Spring. Second thing, we can develop very easy. It's not like previous. Previous, we need to write so many things. For example, I want to develop a Spring Boot application. Previously, what we did, we have to use Spring framework plus we are adding a server. Maybe we are adding the server, okay, embedded Tomcat. For instance, Tomcat we are adding. After that, we are adding XML configuration. These three we are adding, then we can develop a Spring Boot application. But now what Spring did, I don't want this Spring Boot did. I don't want this configuration related stuff. XML you need to write, you have to write a bean and all. I don't want. Then what they did combination of Spring plus auto configuration that include embedded Tomcat and some configuration all. Okay, equal to Spring Boot. Spring Boot means what? Spring framework plus auto configuration is nothing but a Spring Boot. What that mean? That mean you no need to write a XML configuration. Automatically Spring Boot will take care. Second thing, embedded Tomcat, a Jetty server. Previously we have to add it manually, but you no need to do. Automatically it will add for you in Spring Boot only. That is the one more. This is the nothing but anyone is asking what is the Spring. Spring is nothing but a combination of Spring framework plus embedded minus XML configuration. You can say R. Combination of Spring plus auto configuration that includes embedded Tomcat and the configuration related stuff. Okay, that is a Spring Boot. Now, Spring Boot, if you want to develop what we require. Second thing, Spring, if you want to develop Spring Boot application, what you want to require? Java, you want, anyway, you have completed. Maven, you want, Maven, and Spring Boot jars, and MySQL or 1DB. Maybe DB not required, but in memory also we can do, but 1DB. These are the three columns required. Java anyway we have installed. Maven we need to install. And Maven PPT also tomorrow I'll teach you so that you can understand what is a Maven. Now, third concept is features. I already told you 12 features. One by one we will go. Okay, one by one we'll go. Now, what is that? First part is annotations, right? Okay, first feature is what I thought first feature. Okay, all required jars clubbed together, they named as a starter. That is the first feature they have. What does that mean actually? Okay, maybe I'll show you so that you can understand. Instead of, see, this is the jar. This is a starter. This is a Spring Boot starter jar. Okay, now some people think that Spring Boot starter jar web is the starter they are giving, but internally what that means? That means it contains combination of more than one jar. Right click on control, click that. Control click that. Now how they're creating, we'll see. See, this is the project they have added all together. Some of the jars they have added and clubbed together and they're giving a startup. That means, see, when you come into the here, they have added Spring Boot. They have named as a Spring Boot Starter Web. This is the they have named it. Version they have named this one. This one, okay. Now they see, now it's coming to the here. Now step by step, you can come here. Dependencies is there. See, dependency and dependency. They have added Spring Boot Starter. This is the one more jar they have added inside of the Spring Boot Starter Web. Again, JSON jar they have added. Spring Boot Starter JSON. Again, they have added Tomcat. Here, see, it's embedded. They have added a Tomcat, right? How it is coming? It is coming from the Spring Boot Starter Tomcat jar. In this Tomcat, we can clicking on, we can use, they are using some of the Tomcat API. See Tomcat. If you don't want, you can exclude this. See, if you're seeing Tomcat embedded there. Okay. This way, they have created a jar. Okay, one more again. See, internally Spring Boot Starter Web, internally they are using Spring Web jar. See, Spring Web, Spring Boot framework. That's what I told you, know. Combination of Spring jars and some other jars, they club together, they're giving as a starter. Okay, you don't need to worry about that. They already provide. See, Spring Boot Starter Web MVC also they have. This is the what they have created. They're giving us as a startup. That starter name called what? Spring Boot Starter Web. I think so. I conveyed you. What is the Spring Boot? First feature is they have added inbuilt starters. Actually, they built it starters and they given you. What the starter means? Combination of more than one jar they club together. They are giving as a starter. That starter might be okay, any name. Okay, but that naming convention should be there, right? That's why they have added a Spring Boot Starter Web. It is a whatever the Spring Core plus Spring MVC will do, same thing the Spring Boot Starter Web it will do. But on top of that, they have added embedded Tomcat server and some JSON properties or JSON. See, JSON also they have here. See, some JSON. What is the JSON? If you don't know, then control click on. Then you're seeing in the dependencies, see, see, Jackson data binding, Jackson data type JDK8. These are the things they have added inside. You don't need to worry. Automatically, your app is converting. Whenever you're sending the request, automatically your app is converting to JSON format, return type, or input. Input you're giving a JSON, automatically it will convert to the model object. How it is converting based on this JSON bindings. Okay, this is the first feature we have completed. And again, second feature, inbuilt four types of, okay, it's not this one, I think so, right? Where is the second here? All records are Okay. First feature is embedded Tomcat. Okay, anyway, no problem. That is not an issue. First, okay. They are adding embedded Tomcat server. You already know where it is embedded Tomcat. If I going to the here in pom.xml file, if I clicking on the Spring Boot Starter web, coming to the dependency, see, they have added Spring Boot Starter Tomcat. If I don't want this one, you can exclude it, this jar. You can add your own jar, whatever your jars. Like maybe you want Jetty, or you want WebLogic server, you want some other server. You can add it in your pom.xml file. Okay, now I think so. Next is they have minimized annotations. Previously, we have more annotations. Now they removed. They have added only one type of annotation, that is Spring Boot application. Application. Under that, we have a enable auto configuration, component scan, configuration. This already I have explained in the last session. These are the three features we have completed today and tomorrow, because just now I reached Bangalore. Tomorrow what we will do, this video is almost, I think so, 7 videos I need to upload. Spring Core, Spring MVC, and annotations, and today three features. All 7 videos I'll upload now. Please go through the videos. From tomorrow daily 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. is a session, even Sunday also. Okay, I think so. I'm done today. Maybe tomorrow we'll catch up. Same time. Tomorrow might be if we have a, tomorrow 1.5 hour session. Okay. Thanks, team. Bye bye. Someone is asking something. Sir, in YouTube. Okay, maybe please send him YouTube channel. Okay. Thanks, team. Bye bye.